I don't want it to come across like it's a negative comment, but I think careers are half luck and half appropriate navigation of the environments in which you operate. And if you pull the thread on that, some of it is, we used to say in the military, needs of the Army. And it was a bit of a sarcastic joke, meaning you never knew what tomorrow was going to bring. Like one day you're doing this job and the next day they're like, no, go here, do this. And then you think you're settling into that. And then they're like, no, go here, do this. So needs of the Army. You don't really have a choice. You're like the feather coming out of the Curious George book at the end of Forrest Gump. And for those of you who have seen that movie, the movie ends with that feather kind of drifting up into the air. And if you know what that movie's about, I mean, his life was one amazing experience after the other, not of his design.
Okay, to greatly oversimplify, there are three kinds of people in the world. There is one kind of person who says, I know what my career path is going to be, and it's linear, right? To choose a couple examples, I want to be a brain surgeon, so I'm going to go to medical school, and then I'm going to be an intern, and then I'm going to be a resident, and then I'm going to be a fellow, and whatever. And it's charted out, and there's no deviating. You cannot skip steps, right? Path A. Similar example is somebody who says, I want to be a great accountant, and I'm going to join a company, and I'm going to be an associate accountant, and then I'm going to be an accountant, an analyst, and then I'm going to be whatever the next rung is, accountant 1, accountant 2, accountant 3, manager, director, senior director, until I'm an executive vice president, and then I'm going to retire. And there are some people that find that very satisfying. It's predictable, it's consistent, they know what to expect, they get satisfaction out of moving in expected increments. But then there's the kind of person that says, I know what I want to be, and I'm going to plan a very intricate path to get there. And it's almost like when you're playing video games and you unlock levels and then you skip to a different world. And they might say, I want to be a CEO, so I need to do one of these rotational programs, or I need to do 2 years in marketing and 2 years in finance and 2 years in HR. And then I must do a stint in some revenue related role, because research says, and I read a study, I forget where it was, that, CEOs of Fortune 50 companies have all been in sales leaders or in revenue types of organizations. And they might carefully craft that path, and to Patrick's point, usually with the support of a mentor or a guide, or maybe a soul shepherd. To help them get there. But that, I think, is not so much the norm, right? More the norm is the third kind of person who says, I want to be successful, and I'm not really sure how to get there. And I might not even know what opportunities are out there that I'm not seeing, because I'm just putting my head down, I'm getting my work done, and I'm expecting people to promote me when they think I'm ready. And that's the example where I think Patrick's messages come into play, where you don't know what you might be missing. Right? Because if you don't take advantage of some of these opportunities, you may not unlock those relationships, those opportunities to be visible, or those experiences to acquire new skills. And so what might happen is you might just go down your merry path of, doing your job, and then a little bit more of your job, and then a tiny bit more of your job, which again, for many people is perfectly satisfying, but for you might not be.
If you're a title hunter, if you're I'm climbing the ladder up only person, you're going to miss a lot, and you may not even know you're hampering your upward momentum, because you're not collecting the experiences to improve your chances for, if you're over your skis one day, for success. The more things you have to draw from to help you be successful from an experience perspective, the better off you'll be. Period. So gather experiences. And those experiences, again, could be left or right. They're not always up or down. Go left or right a lot, and it will lead to up if that's what you seek. Now, if you don't seek up and you just seek experiences, good for you. But there are a lot of people that think up is better. Up isn't always better in the moment. Go left, go right, go up, go down. Sometimes you make your own luck, and sometimes luck takes you. So just own it. And be proud of the fact that you gave it a shot, instead of just standing on the sidelines pointing at the people who did try. Not everybody wins. So I wanted to finish with that too.
Yeah. And if something like that happens and you do take a shot and you take a role in a different area than you were in and it doesn't work, consider that a blessing. Now you can check something off your box and say, I actually just discovered I don't enjoy this, or this is really hard for me and I don't like it enough to want to become good at it. And develop your narrative so that you can explain it, right? Because it's something you should be proud of. You shouldn't be embarrassed of it and try and hide it or not put an experience on your resume because it wasn't a success. If you get asked about it, like say, hey, in an interview, I noticed that you took a year to become a salesperson and then you moved back into engineering. Can you explain that? Then you'll say, you know what? I was given an opportunity by a leader who encouraged me to take a shot in sales. I realized that this didn't speak to my strengths and I didn't enjoy it because I really enjoy the back-end analytics more than I do the schmoozing at conferences.